and welcome to the Living Room Show. Am I spotlit? I'm not spotlit. How do I get myself spotlit? Hello, Aaron is not here today. Aaron is doing an in-person show in another state. I think he's crossed state lines, but he will be joining us later. So welcome. If you are just joining us, we're happy to see you. A couple reminders before we get started. One, turn your cameras on. We want to see your faces. We want you to prove you have a face. So many people don't have faces today, and we like when people come in and have faces. We just think that's the coolest. So great to see you. Likewise, turn your sound up. We like to hear the sound of uproarious laughter and clapping and fainting with delight. Yes, thank you. You know that we ask for an example of laughter so that we know what it sounds like. We're so happy to hear. We want to hear more laughter. Does anyone else want to give a sample of laughter? See, not enough people have their microphones on. There you go. That's perfect. Yes. I like a chortle. A chortle is what we go for. And also, with that power to laugh comes great responsibility. If you start making too much weirdo noise, I can mute you. And I do sometimes go mad with power when Aaron is not here to check my power. If you are shy in both of those realms, you don't forget we have these little reaction guys. Look, I can make little rockets appear. Look at them. They're the cutest. Yeah. So yeah, if you are shy, you can use it. Rachel can't do it. I don't know. Update your Zoom, you guys. Update your Zoom.
How do you do that?
Yeah, you just got to update your Zoom. Look, you want some balloons? I don't know where they came from. But yes, and we want to say hello to our friends on Comedy Hub. Hello, Comedy Hub on Twitch. It's great to see you. I can't hear you laughing and clapping in return, but it's nice to know you're there. Every now and then someone says, I watch you on Twitch. And I'm like, hey, that's so cool because we don't know you're there. It's great. You're like a secret society. Oh, Pepsi commercials. Thank you, Nikki. Tarzan Boy was featured in a Pepsi commercial in the late 80s and 90s. That was before I was born, so I don't know how I knew that. And before we get started, as a couple of reminders, I'm going to put some links in the chat window. These are links to donate money to the show. As you know, this is a free comedy show, but as you also know, nothing is really free. And we would love to keep the show running. We do pay our comedians, which is unusual in comedy. And help us do that. Throw us a couple of bucks. If you're wondering how much... You're wondering how much to send us, you are overthinking it. It does not matter. Any amount is fantastic, and we love it. So send us a couple of bucks here and there. It does help us keep the show running. We do pay for Zoom and for a couple of other little tech things to keep the show running. So thank you. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? We took Black Friday off. Did anyone do anything unusual? Who stayed home and who went out of town? Eric, you stayed home?
Yeah.
Did you host?
No.
Okay, so you didn't have people come over and like eat all your food and then bake all day? I went
super chill.
Yeah, cool. That's the way to do it. I did my first ever 5K. There you go, Rachel. You got that's perfect. I did my first ever 5K. And when I say I did my first ever 5K, someone will say, I can't believe you ran a 5K. And I'll correct them and say, I didn't say run. I didn't say run. I said I did a 5K. My body rejects running. My body does not like that. When I start running, my body assumes I am running from something. And it's like, why are you running from something? Do you need me to make you lighter immediately? If you know what I mean. And then I'll say, no, I'm not running from anything. You don't need to make it lighter. No, I'm good. This is the perfect weight for me running right now. You don't need to lighten the load. And my body's like, are you sure? Because I'm feeling like you might need to be lighter right now. Because you're, and so I walked a large portion of the 5K that I did. I did a 5K in about 40 minutes. My goal was 45. Wow. So I think that's good. Thank you. Whoever said, wow, I appreciate it. My mom just texted me that she can't find the link. Okay, we're gonna get it. It wouldn't be Friday. We wouldn't pull it together. It's the same link. People have figured out it is the same link every week. Yes, we have okay. Yes. Is anyone joining us for the first time? Anyone noobs? New people? All right, so you all know that the link is the same from week to week, so we do appreciate that. It got super cold in New York, you guys. It's super cold. I was sitting in my apartment the other day. My arms were cold, and I thought to myself, I wish my arms were cold. I wish I had leg warmers for my arms, but that connected to the top of the sleeve. And then I realized I just invented long sleeves. I invented a long sleeve shirt, you guys. That was me. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you. So if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, you owe me 50 cents. It's very cold. It's annoyingly cold. I met up with Aaron today and we both had black hats on, which was great. I was like, oh, we're in the same club together.
There's a suit
While I was during Thanksgiving, I was staying with friends, and I was visiting friends, but staying in a hotel, which is important because the friends I was staying with, they have between the two couples have 4 children, ages 12, 14, 10, and 2. Wow. And so I was like, I'm going to stay in a hotel. Maybe it's hotel time for old Carrie.
A lot of drama.
Yeah, a lot of stomping with that age range. But at one point we watched The Wizard of Oz, and if anyone has seen The Wizard of Oz, a lot of people have seen it. It's a fairly popular movie. But there is the Lollipop Gill hands Dorothy an enormous lollipop. Do you guys remember this key moment of the movie? It's very important to the movie, the plot. And the 12-year-old was like, I want a giant lollipop. He found him one. And I realized there is no dignified way to eat a lollipop the size of a dinner plate. It cannot be done. This poor child started licking the top of it. He looked ridiculous. Then he realized so he tried to lick the flat side of it. It's this big. You look stupid. Right. Then he was like, well, maybe I'll get it off the stick. I'll look more dignified if I get it off the stick. And he started licking it under. He just moved the lollipop above his own head and started licking like that. So distracted. I couldn't stop laughing. It was the freakiest, funniest thing. Kids are really, really awkward. Are there any children on the show? No, we can talk about them. If you are 12, you are awkward. I'm so sorry. If you're 12, you're really awkward. And eating an enormous lollipop does not help. And also he had braces. Oh, it was really cute. It was very sweet. And I did hang out with a toddler. And she can speak. And you know what she said to me? You know what this 2.5-year-old said to me?
What?
He said, Carrie, can you snuggle me?
Aww.
I have an image to protect. I'm getting teary remembering it. I am an ice-cold, ice-hearted, mean old lady. And I can't have my heart be melted with Carrie. Aunt Carrie, will you snuggle me? Oh my, I had to leave the room and dry heave. my ovaries in check. No, it's a bit much, toddler. Okay. And yes, I did snuggle her. I'm not a monster. I'm not made of stone. Stupid kids. Stupid babies.
Good. Very
cute
good
babies.
job.
Melting my ice cold heart. It's just not fair. It's not fair. Are you guys ready to get this show on the road? Aaron, doing an in-person show. He should be joining. He's doing a corporate show, which means that they start when they want to start. So he can't tell what time he's coming on. But at some point, Aaron will be joining us, I think, from the green room, I guess from a conference room. I'm not sure. But we have an awesome lineup for you guys tonight. Are you psyched?
All right.
All right, you guys. First comedian coming to the stage. Give her a big round of applause. Rachel Parenta, everybody.
Rachel.
Woo! Oh, let me start my timer because I forget.
Sir.
Hi.
Hey.
What's going on? All right. They call it catcalling because it doesn't work. Have you ever tried to call a cat? And what does it do? It doesn't come running to you. No, it runs and hides under the bed, seething. Right? Here, lady, psst, psst, lady, psst, lady. Psst. Now, if it worked, they'd call it dog calling. But you can't call a lady a dog, so let's just drop the whole thing. Do you guys know what the problem with this show is, though? Really, is I didn't get any steps in getting here, so no calories burned. All right, here's a little political thing, I guess. Sort of. There's still people out there who say, like, we can't have a woman president because she'll get her period and start a war. And you're just like, what 35-year-old is actually running for president? Like, that's not... A woman is running for president. She's probably 60, 65 years old. She's not getting her period anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess she could be still having hot flashes. Like, she'd be like having a hot flash. She'd be like, oh my God, it is so hot in here. I have to start a nuclear winter. Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So my mother had a disease where she couldn't speak anymore and she couldn't like take food by mouth. And yeah, I know, it's fine. We're just gonna gloss right over that part. But here's the thing: it's important because I had a show over the summer near my hometown, and my parents were coming, and then my mom like invited like all of her friends from like her 55 plus community, and so I got really nervous because I was like, oh my God, like what happens if I bomb at this show, and then like all her friends are just gonna look at her with like this pity because I'm like inept, you know, like they're not gonna look at her pity because she can't talk or eat, but like because I suck at comedy, that's what the pity is gonna be about, right? So yeah. She had a home health aide at one point, and the home health aide was like, oh my God, your mom is so sweet. And I'm like, well, she doesn't speak anymore. Like, is she like everything, like when a computer voice says something, it's pretty innocuous. You know, you can't really tell if the person's sweet. Like, it's just a computer voice being like, you're wearing that, like that's versus like her own voice, which would be like, you're wearing that, really? Fine, do what you want, I don't care, but you need a haircut, I'll tell you that much. Like it was when you have to like type everything out, like you just can't monologue your criticism anymore, like you have to pick your battles. So anyway, I had to help my mom go to the bathroom sometimes, which was fine. Like she helped me when I was a child, baby, whatever, like I owed her, no problem. But here is the thing, man, like a grown woman has a lot more opinions on how she should be wiped than like a baby does. Can I just, yeah, I'll tell you this, I wasn't doing it right. I could just tell by the way she was looking at me. And then there's like this thing, so now my aunt likes to tell me that like my mom is visiting, like my mom's ghost is visiting her. And I was like, what? Like, why is she visiting you, her sister-in-law, and like not me or my father? And then like, why is she visiting you? Like, she should be visiting my dad and telling him where she put her safety deposit key because
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Gotta pay bills.
Got it. Or find your birth certificate. Like, there's stuff in that box, and we do not know what it is. It could be nothing. It could be everything. And she oh God. But here's the thing about ghosts. Like, I don't understand why people who believe in ghosts are never haunted by like the frog that lived in their backyard at one point, right? Or it's like, ribbit, ribbit, boo, ribbit, ribbit, boo, ooh. Like, or I don't like, or a crab. Like, could you just be like a crab, like coming through the walls, pretending to try to pinch you, but not being able? Like, I don't know. I just think those things are a little convenient for some people. Is all I'm saying. All right. So let me tell you this. So not to be grim, but we'll keep going with it. So here's the thing: when only one parent dies and the other is still alive, you don't get an inheritance. I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. It's whatever. Okay. But so here's the thing. So I kind of knew that was going to happen. But when I was over helping with my mother, I noticed that she had these hangers that she had bought that were still in the packaging, like several packages of them, and they were all uniform. They were the same type of hanger, and they were thin and like and I was like, dude, I'm getting those hangers. Like, that's gonna be my inheritance, right? Like, like in my head, I had like this idea, like, all right, like I'm gonna have extra time on my hands because I won't have to be helping her, and like I'm gonna redo my closet. Like I'm gonna put them all in the same uniform hanger, and my closet is gonna be amazing. And she would have been so proud of me because she's anal retentive and crazy neat freak. So, but I didn't want to be gross about it, right? So I didn't take the hangers immediately. Like I waited a few weeks, and I went back to my dad's place, and I was like, all right, today's the day I'm getting these hangers. And then I get there, and he threw them out.
Whoa, your inheritance.
Yeah. So the lesson is, people, just be gross and take the hangers immediately, because you're gonna write jokes about it anyway, right? Like, so what's worse than that?
Okay.
Where are we at time? All right, so moving on from my mom. You guys remember January 6th?
Oh yeah, fun time.
Yeah, January.
Yeah. So that's like when they all stormed the castle, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
And then they broke a bunch of windows, and like that's who I felt bad for. I felt bad for the woman, because it's a woman who was like in charge, works for the federal government, and she was in charge with getting the windows replaced, right? Because like these aren't your like regular everyday windows that you get at Home Depot. Like they're bespoke Capitol window building windows. Like, do you know how many forms this lady was going to have to fill out? Like, has anyone ever worked for the government or a large agency or a university or a big company? Like the forms, like anyway. So my husband, on January 6th, my husband was in the fetal position, worrying about the end of democracy, and I was like worried about how these windows were going to get replaced. All right. So yeah, I'm married to a man. Don't let this outfit fool you. And but I'm not one of those people who brags about being married. It's not a thing to brag about. But I'm also not one of those people who, I never bragged about not being married. Do you know those people who are like, me and my boyfriend, we don't need a piece of paper to tell us we're in love. Like, I don't need the government to define our relationship. Like, dude, your boyfriend has a 450 credit score. Do not get that piece of paper. Like, I didn't get a piece of paper that tells me I'm in love. I got a piece of paper that tells me I get half. And that is 8 minutes, people. Thank you very much for Zooming with us.
Rachel.
Did your dad explain why he threw away perfectly good new hangers?
No, because
Right?
I mean, I was really judgy about all of his way if he was grieving, and this was one of them. He's like, "Oh, the hangers were just too triggering." Like, are you kidding me right now?
Wow.
Yeah. I thought he kind of grieved like a hack, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Like, it was very.
You didn't like how he did it?
No, I didn't. I was just, he's like, everything here reminds me of her, and I'm like, you lived with her. Like, oh, did you see that on like, it's something that they'd say on television. I don't know. I'm being a terrible daughter. Now I've turned everyone against me.
No, give it up for Rachel for an hour. I'm sorry to hear about your mom on a serious note. But also, I'm sorry that your dad threw your inheritance in the garbage. And some people do get the inheritance when only one parent dies, by the way.
Oh, because they're divorced.
No, because the dad is vindictive. Daddy says, I love my daughter more than I love my wife. And the daughter gets everything, and the mom is super mad. Sometimes that happens. Yeah. Not to me. I mean, no. I got, my parents are alive.
What? She had to remember.
I had to remember.
I love it.
Yeah. Mom just logged in, by the way. Hi, Mom.
Talking about you.
We're talking about you. Mom, can I tell the story of you in the deli in Brooklyn? I was some people's moms. Okay, so I had just finished watching 2 shows back to back that are all about the seedy belly of the drug world. And they were, and if anyone has seen either of these series, you know what I mean. One was Breaking Bad, which was a fantastic series, and one was The Sopranos.
I do remember you.
Right? Everyone has seen most of those, right? And while I'm watching these 2 things, I go with my mom to a seedy, disgusting deli, which is clearly a drug front in Brooklyn. And I walk in and I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen Breaking Bad. I've seen The Sopranos. This is definitely a drug front. This is a money laundering scheme. I can tell because I've watched these 2 series on TV. And then the guy behind the counter looks really like sheepish. When we go to check out, sheepish. When we go to check out, the guy has 2 broken thumbs. Both of his thumbs are in casts. And in my head, I'm like, definitely a drug front, right? And I'm like, oh my God, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. This is some shady place. And my mom goes, what happened to your thumbs?
Awesome, Mom.
Like, Mom, shut up. He's clearly in the mafia. And he's like, I hurt them in the car. And Mom's like, what'd you do in the car? And I'm like, we gotta go. Sorry about your mafia connection. Sorry you pissed off a Don. Got Mom the hell out of there. Mom is very street smart. But yeah, every now and then. What happened to your thumbs? Also, she doesn't have that accent except for in this story. It makes it work a little better. All right, are you guys ready for your next comedian? I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna mess up the pronunciation of this last name because it has 3 consonants back to back. But give it up for Sasha. Struble. Thank you, and I'm sorry. Sorry, and I appreciate it. I'm so glad to see you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. Yeah, so this is the this is where I'm at. Like, I can't wait for dementia.
Oh,
Like that. I don't mean to, I know it's a terrible degenerative disease, right? I know it destroys families and everything, but what I'm talking about is, like, if it is a disease that slowly makes, you lose your intelligence bit by bit, the first few months got to be pretty cool. You know what I mean? When you're starting to enjoy life again, you're finding things quicker on Netflix. Start feeling better. You're like, oh, you're enjoying baseball games again. You're dumb and happy. Remember being dumb and happy? I think it's a thing that I remember fondly. I think, like, they lie to you. I don't know what the age composition here is, how many people are younger, how many people are older, but they lie to you when you're growing up. They tell you things like, you get older, but you get wiser. No, you don't. I don't know anything. I mean, I don't. Younger people, I can't teach you right now. But young people, don't listen to anybody older. They have no clue what's going on. They look like they know more than you because they have more money. But that has nothing to do with them working hard or studying. It's just compound interest growth over time. Trust me, they have no clue what's going on. This is the only, see if older people, now see if you're with me on it. This is the only wisdom with getting older. This is the only thing I figured out. This is the only wisdom with getting older. You ready for it?
Yep.
I'm tired now. I have the same dumb thoughts and urges. I just don't do them because I'm exhausted. It's not wisdom, right? It's just I'm too tired to damage myself and the general environment at the same rate I did when I was 20. But that's not growth, right? It's not personal growth.
Tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. Aging isn't about growth. Aging isn't about growth. Aging is about finding a growth. Is that
Nice.
Look. The other thing, when you get older, you realize you have to you have to work out more. And not to look good, just to look human. You have to work out now. I used to have goals. I used to have workout goals. I used to have, like, I want to get that line here. And, now my workout goal is I want to be recognized as a member of the species. I just want to be, if somebody finds my body one day, I don't want kids poking at it with a stick. Like, what is that thing? I want them to, like, immediately, okay, that's a person. That's my workout goal. And right now, I have a personal trainer who's 26. And if you're over 40, guys, don't get a personal trainer that's closer to your age. Just because it's not because of me. It's because I see him, because he's 26 and he has goals. He wants to sculpt people. He wants to get people. And every time I walk into the gym for a session with him, he just looks at me like, why isn't it working? Like, he doesn't get it. And I have to explain, from the side, I have to explain, dude, I'm 45, all right? I'm 46, okay? We're not working towards anything, okay? We're pushing against time. That's all we're doing. We're fighting entropy, and we're gonna lose. Okay, that's my pledge to him, and he's taking it sort of hard, but we'll get there. One thing, you can learn geography when you work out with a personal trainer, because there's exercises like Russian twist, Bulgarian squat, Romanian lift. All crappy countries. None of these countries are places you want to go on vacation. There's not one exercise that's like, Tahitian something or Jamaican. Like, it's all countries with gray infrastructure. All the cops have mustaches. It's like no place you want to. I used to think that the Bulgarian whatever, or the Bulgarian lift or whatever, that it was named after somebody because it was invented in Bulgaria. No, actually, it's named the Bulgarian lift because it recreates the suffering of people living in Bulgaria. That's what it feels like to live in Bulgaria, doing that exercise. The other day, me and my personal trainer were in he's telling me, like, okay, I want you to get in a plank position, right? And now we're going to do a Moldavian. I'm like, we're not doing that. Well, stop you right there. Immediately. I'm not going to do that. Please, give me something in the G7. Give me something that's, it's bad. Like, if I took my shirt, when I take my shirt off, it's not, like, do you guys remember, I need to work out, right? But do you guys remember the flight, the Boeing flight from last year or this year, the one where the door ripped off?
Oh yeah.
Do you guys remember that flight? And if thankfully nobody died, everybody, like, 15 minutes later, they just landed, just circled for 15 minutes and landed. And when the cabin depressurized, the only thing that happened is some guy's shirt ripped off. And he had to sit there shirtless for 15 minutes. And the media kept repeating, thankfully, tragedy was averted. Thankfully, tragedy was averted. All right, let me explain something. If I was on that plane and my shirt ripped off and people had to look at that for 15 minutes, a tragedy would not have been averted. All right, the FAA would have made them get me a personal trainer and put me on a diet or something. Nobody should see that ever again. I'm gonna. So how old am I? I said earlier it's 46, but 46 is like, it's just a number. Like, how old? This is how old. If people that are close to my age
25.
Everybody's there at 25. Well, this is what you're going to feel like when you're 46. I'm at the age now where when a celebrity dies, I read the whole article. I'm just there going, wow.
Oh, wow.
How are you? What? He looks so healthy. How did... I just don't get... Oh, suicide, thank God. Oh, that's where I'm at right now. I'm like waiting. I'm reading that's how dark it is. I'm reading the bottom of the article just to see, please tell me it's suicide or drugs or something. Don't tell me it's natural causes.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's not fun. But here's something on a positive note. If we are a multi-generational crowd, I'll say something that's not very popular, I'm gonna miss boomers. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss them. It's not because
Wait, what?
I mean, not just personally. I don't mean just like the boomer. Obviously, we're going to miss the people we love, right? But I'm going to miss them as a generation. I know it's not a popular thing to say on account of them destroying the world and everything, but I'm going to miss them because, like, when a generation goes, something goes with them. We're not going to notice until they leave. Like you guys remember like the way they talk, for instance? Like you guys remember you ever watch like, a movie from the 30s?
Yeah,
you ever watch a movie from the 30s?
yeah.
Everybody talks like this. See, I'm gonna go get the caper, right? You know, like nobody talks like that anymore because everybody that used to talk like that died in the 50s or 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
So when the boomers go, the way they talk is gonna go with them. And see if, like for instance, this is a thing they do when they speak. See if a boomer in your life does this. Boomers will randomly, mid-conversation, just whisper the race of a person.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Yeah.
They'll just be like, we had a potluck at work. We had a potluck at work. Billy brought cupcakes. Nancy brought some coleslaw. Jerome brought a casserole. He's black. The race of a person. They'll do it with other things. I don't know. Is anybody from Long Island there?
Yeah.
They'll do it with other things. They'll be like, I was talking to somebody. I was like, I was in Roslyn the other day. Oh my God, Roslyn is beautiful. It's a very nice town. It's a very nice town. Jewish. Like they'll just whisper something, and when they're gone, that'll be gone with them. And, I don't know if everybody's at home. Is it Great Neck? Great Neck. Oh, it's Great Neck. I can't remember. I'm from Long Island, but I don't remember that's another big thing on Long Island. Which town are you from? And let's judge each other based on that. I don't know if I have any. How many more minutes do I have?
Oh, you're a big closer.
I'm a closer. All right. So here's one. Like I'm traveling. This is if you guys are traveling during the holidays. I travel a lot for comedy, and I've sort of developed a game that I like to do at airports when your flight's delayed or whatever. It's just a way of passing the time, and it's a fun way of doing it. And the bigger the airport, the better. You can play this game. What I like to do at airports when I have nothing to do is I like to go from gate to gate and check the vibe. Mm-hmm. Because each gate at the airport feels a little bit like the destination city. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if you go to the gate that's going to Hawaii, it feels a little bit like everybody's in those shirts and drinking tiki drinks and it smells like cocoa butter and suntan lotion. It feels a little bit like Hawaii. Yeah. And if you go to like the gate that's flying to Paris, there's couples, there's romance in the air. It's trip of a lifetime. Yeah, it's a game. But last week I was flying to Buffalo and. You know what I mean? Hopefully nobody's from Buffalo, guys. But thank you so much for letting me do this. I hope
you guys give it up for Sasha Krubel. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel the getting older part a lot. I realize that when something starts at 8 p.m., I have to really think about it now. Like, oh, yeah, totally come to your party. When does it start? And they're like, oh, 8, but people usually get here by 9. And I'm like, oh, bro, I don't know. I hung out with some 20-somethings. They wanted to start dinner at 8 p.m.
What?
And I was like, I am getting ready for bed.
When am I supposed to digest this?
Exactly. Oh, it's too late. But I had a delay in an airport coming back from my Thanksgiving. I had a 5-hour delay in an airport. And a 5-hour delay sucks anytime, right? But I think it sucks more when the airport closes. Oh, yeah. Airports will close. A 5-hour delay between noon and 5 p.m. You got stuff to do. There's like plenty of stuff open. You can wander around. You can look at books, whatever. But if the airport, your delay goes from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., there is nothing to do. And the government, I don't care what you say about this government, but somebody in the government said, if you have a 5-hour delay, the airline has to feed you.
Oh,
That's a law. That is a law that got passed earlier this year. And so I march right up to the gate counter and I'm like, give me my food. And they start handing out vouchers for food. And I'm like, yeah, and they're not tracking who they're giving the vouchers to. They're not assigning it to your, you know what I mean? They're not making sure that I could have been anyone. They didn't check. And so my boyfriend and I are like, oh, let's scam a whole bunch of vouchers. Right? They're screwing us. We'll screw them. So we start collecting vouchers and they're each good for $12, right? So we can, like, what can you buy in an airport for $12? Like nothing, right? But we're like, oh, this is great. So we get all these vouchers and then we realize all the restaurants are closed. Because it's frickin' 9:30 at night and all the restaurants are closed. The only way we can use these $12 is if we go grocery shopping at Hudson News.
Well,
that is what I did. I bought $24 worth of groceries at Hudson News.
okay.
Oh god.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, no, it was great. And then there were some other laws. Oh, they have to reimburse. I got a $75 flight coupon for the next time I fly. Whatever. Thanks, government. Are you guys ready for your next comedian coming to the stage? You guys,
why not?
You guys might have heard of this guy. He's hanging out in the back room, I think, in some sort of corporate headquarters. You guys give a big warm welcome and a big round of applause to Aaron Kominos-Smith.
Hello, everybody.
Wait, what?
Hello. I am at I'm not at a hotel. I'm not at a motel. I am currently at a Holiday Inn.
No way!
Express. That didn't exist when the song came out. I was not over at a friend's house where the food just did not taste good. I just did a show for a bunch of teachers for a charter school, and the other comic is up performing right now. We'll call it mediocre on the show. We'll say that. And that would be me being generous to myself if I call it mediocre. All right, that's what I would say. Let's just say there was a stage and there was a dance floor and there was like one or two tables, and then to the left were lots of people and to the right were lots of people. And I was like, who do I perform to? Which way do I perform to? The best is when the only people sitting close to the stage have their phones like right in front of their faces and are like texting while you're performing. That's when you're like, oh, this is gonna go great. This is gonna be a great. Yeah, please don't give me a chance. That's the best way you can ever treat a comic. Don't even try. Don't even do it. Like you know how like whatever it was, like the equivalent of like how my 3-year-old like puts her fingers in her ears. Like they could have just done that and it would have been more direct. I would have appreciated that more. Why am I currently standing in a stairwell? Good question for everybody. First of all, amazing lighting. All right, amazing lighting. That's why. Oh, look, guys, look at that lighting. I'll take a screenshot. This is my new headshot. Okay. This is my new.
This young man.
Yeah.
Fluorescence.
That's yeah. Oh yeah, Aaron. Actually, these are regular fluorescent. There's no compound. They are blasting. What do you say? What did I do?
I think your audio.
I don't know what's going on.
Your audio is coming in and out a little bit because Zoom got really excited about your lighting. And Zoom got distracted by your lighting and it cut your audio out for a second. So just repeat the last 8 seconds of whatever you said.
It was ad-libbed and I don't remember what it was.
Great.
The joke is gone forever. Whatever joke I just made. Guys, this was actually not comedy. This was a lesson in the ephemeralness of life. I accidentally just taught us to cherish every moment. That's what this was about. So why am I standing in a stairwell? That's what I was starting to bring up. They're currently blasting Christmas music everywhere in this hotel. except in the room where we're doing the show. There, we're blasting my amazing jokes. No, they're blasting Christmas music. So no matter where you go in this hotel, you feel like you are in Home Alone. It just like every song they play just brings you back to a different part of that movie. It's like, oh, this is where he's kind of happy that his family is gone. Or you're like, oh, this is where he actually misses them. Oh, but wait, there's a guy gonna bite his finger off. Okay. So we all know what season we're in, right? Let's all sing it together. You know the song. Kettlebells. Kettlebells, soon it will be CrossFit time. Right, everybody knows that song? I'm just going to assume if anything doesn't go well, it's because the sound cut out. My microphone cut out. I'm really hoping that there's someone like up these stairs who's like, I have a guy singing about kettlebells. This doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to think. I went to a doctor and I've got some arm pain, some forearm pain. This is just what my life is now, is every week there's a new kind of pain. If you recall, 2 weeks ago, I was telling you I was at my eye doctor and I was having trouble seeing up close, and my doctor said I could go to the drugstore and I could buy reading glasses. She said, I'm at that point in my life where I can start to wear reading glasses. And I said, those are going to be very cheap because on my way to the store to buy reading glasses, I plan on just throwing myself in front of a bus and I won't need to buy them. So that'll be what cost us and wow, the joke did so much better this week. So I went to this doctor and I said, I've got this like some pain in my arm, some pain here. And he pushed on part of my forearm and he said, I think you're starting to get a little bit of tennis elbow. He said, I have tennis elbow. I knew I shouldn't have gone so hard that one time I played tennis when I was 11. That's really what's causing it. He said I could get one of those like not ace bandages, but one of those like thin like black straps, like a compression strap that I could put over my left forearm. And I actually asked him, I was like, so you want me to put a strap on my arm? My eye doctor wants me to wear reading glasses. I feel like doctors are just trying to make me look the average age of the people in their waiting room. It feels like they just want me to look older and feel older. I mean, this was a doctor's office where like everyone who walked into the office had to like comment on everything. Like it was one of those elevators where like you had to hit the button before you got in the elevator for what floor you were going to. So if you're going to like the third floor, you hit a 3 and then it would tell you like, go to elevator A2.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
none of these old people could figure it out.
No.
Like no one had any idea what was going on. I was confused at first, but what I did was I just stood still for a moment. I pushed the floor I wanted to go to and I followed the directions.
You're so smart.
I don't know why that was so difficult. Instead, I get in the elevator and I'm with all these old people who had to be like, you need a college degree just to use the elevator in this place. What is this? What, they got to make everything so complicated. And then they all were looking around at each other. Some old lady looked at me and tried to commiserate with me. And I was like, nope, I'm going to use this newfangled handheld computer in my hand. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this Macintosh right here in my hand. That's what I'm going to do. And I refused to accept that I would be one of those people who had to comment on everything. It was very frustrating. But I am getting older, I think. Right? Aren't we all? You guys have heard this joke before, but here we go. I'm using some Rogaine, right? I'm putting in some Rogaine. I was in the bathroom. I spilled some Rogaine on the floor. Now, instead of tile in the bathroom, we have shag carpeting. Yeah. If only it worked out well on my head. That's what I wish. There we go. What? I said, if only it worked out well on my head. Laura, can you explain it to Ron? That would be... Oh, guess who just got older? Ron. Okay.
Zing!
This is fun. zing, and I'm gonna hit my ring against this very echoey stair rail right next to me. Guys, this is a big night. I just bombed on a show, and I am doing this show that I think is going well. I can't tell. All I hear is the echo of the fluorescent lighting. And then after this, I'm going to drive back to New York City, and I'm going to go do yet another show.
Whoa.
For me.
Triad. You're doing a triad.
One night.
Who said for me? I don't actually know. I'm on my phone, so I don't know who said. I'm doing a private show, apparently. I'm going to do a holiday. A holiday show in someone's apartment. Or I'm flying down to Boca, doing a show for Ron and Laura. And then I'm just going to have to repeat it because Ron's getting to that age. It's too easy. It's too easy. All right, everybody. I don't know what else to say anymore. I'm happy that all of you are here. I really appreciate it. I am about to launch my line of greeting cards. All right. My Etsy shop is it's active right now. If you go to funnyaaron.etsy.com, I think that's my shop. You can buy my cards. They're digital downloads. You can buy it and print it at home. You do all the work. That's why you owe me very, very little money. So you can get some of my greeting cards. One is a picture of Rudolph, and it says, if it wasn't for that one foggy Christmas Eve, we'd probably still be bullying Rudolph. That's one of the cards. The other just says happy, and it says happy Hanukkah, and Hanukkah is written in 10 different spellings, all crossed off, and then it says happy not Christmas. There's that one. There's another one that just says at the top, it's let Ron and Laura laugh. And then the other card, it says at the top, it says, I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. And then in parentheses below that, it says, which is weird because we're Jewish. That's the other card. So do all your holiday card shopping in one Etsy marketplace, which is mine. Yeah, send me an email if you want me to make more cards and send you cards. I got some hard copies coming eventually. They may get here in time for New Year's. They may get here in time for Valentine's Day. I don't know. Give the love of your life a Christmas card on Valentine's Day. All right, let's do it. Everybody, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Give it up for Aaron.
Send it back to Carrie. Got more show for you. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Give it up. Aaron, I thought you were doing a corporate gig. I was ready to make fun of the corporation you were doing, and I didn't know it was teachers.
Yeah.
You can't make fun of teachers. I was like, Aaron's doing a corporate gig. No, you're entertaining the most overworked, underpaid, people. The stakes are so high for that job. So thank you for entertaining our teachers.
Yeah.
By the way, those fancy elevators where you press the button and then it tells you, they have those in the lobby of the New York Times building.
Ooh. And
New York Times is a prestigious, it's an institution. It's like, the New York Times, and they can't figure it out. So thanks, media. You can't even figure out your own elevators.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you guys ready for your next comedian coming up today? You guys give a big warm welcome and a round of applause for Justin Herman, everybody.
Justin!
Friday nights on the internet, baby. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Hanging out online. Guys, you guys could be Googling Bitcoin right now, and you chose to be here, and I appreciate that.
Ooh, I should. Good.
Nope, not. Give it 8 minutes, Carrie.
All right.
Hold on, we're so close. We're doing great. I love this, man. I love building internet communities. I think this is a cool new thing we get to do. And I don't want to get on my soapbox or anything, but it does make me want to bring up one of my something near and dear to my heart. I want to talk about cyberbullying. I think cyberbullying is a huge issue right now, and I want to speak out about it because I think it's time we draw a line in the sand and we just say no more making fun of assassinated CEOs. It's enough.
No.
It's fun. Is it fun? Yes. Am I fine with the assassination part? Of course, but there's too many jokes. We just have to stop. You know, I can't keep up. I can't write that many jokes, internet. Everybody slow down. At least save the jokes for the funeral roast. You know what I mean? Like, wait for the right people. I think that's important. What a crazy time to be alive in America. This has been a while. Like, did you hear there was another healthcare company that was going to come out with like they announced a new policy where they were going to limit how much money they would pay for anesthesia, which would literally impact anybody having surgery. And then the guy got shot, and they retracted the new policy. I just think it's nice that we've had a gun problem in this country for so long. It's nice the guns are finally enacting positive change. I think that's important. I think our future elections are going to go much better if instead of filling out little circles on a ballot, we just shoot the name we want to vote for. You know? Nope. I think Aaron's audio cut out during that one. That's what you guys. What happened? I love seeing people it's really satisfying for me to see people so mad about our healthcare industry, because my dad literally left America because of our healthcare industry being too unethical. It's a completely true story. My dad moved to Australia, and then in Australia, he had a heart attack, and it was awesome because it was free.
Free.
He had a free that's zero GoFundMe, guys. Free.
That's amazing.
God,
that's incredible. Listen, guys, I don't know if you understand. My dad's a Jew from the Bronx. This was 5 years ago, and he's still talking about what a great deal that was. Amazing. But the craziest part, actually, is that my dad is a cardiologist. He's a heart doctor. And he actually moved to Australia to build a cardiology program in a small rural town. He didn't have one. And then 15 years later, he had a heart attack, and that program saved his life.
Wow. Congratulations.
Amazing, right? Like, my dad is literally the first person who can give himself a Yelp review.
Wow.
That's awesome. Way to plan ahead, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to be healthier. I think I live in LA now, and I'm trying to get into the wellness culture here. I tried acupuncture, didn't like it. Yes, it increases blood flow, but so does all stabbing.
What did you say?
Said it increases blood. I'm not going to repeat the joke. I feel like that would be. It's a good one. It's a good one. You missed a good one. Everybody is into self-improvement in Los Angeles, but I don't trust self-improvement people here because they all use self-improvement as an excuse to just do more drugs. Anytime you hear somebody talking about being into plant-based medicine, they're on a diet of almost exclusively cocaine.
Yep.
You understand? Like, I don't trust self-improvement. They're just trying to do more. They're always like, oh yeah, you want to quit drinking? Try smoking weed. You want to quit doing weed? Just try an ayahuasca ceremony. Or they're like, you want to be an insufferable friend? Do an ayahuasca ceremony. You guys didn't like that joke. Am I depressed about it? Yes. Am I going to do ketamine about it? Definitely. I'm Jewish. I'm a Jew, and I am dating a Muslim. So we are heroes.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's pretty cool. Some of you disagree completely. You guys like, oh no, a Jew and a Muslim. Those are my two least favorite things. Great. Now they control the weather and the tunnels. I understand. She's Muslim. She's not practicing, but she did grow up in the Middle East. She actually moved to America when she was 14, and it's so interesting to talk to her about her childhood here, like trying to figure out how to assimilate to white culture. She tried so hard to be white, which I think is so funny because me and my friends tried so hard not to be white. Like she literally has photos of her like wearing an American flag crop top and eating at Burger King, and we were all watching anime and learning how to break dance. We tried so hard not to be white, and let's be clear, I was still very white. I was the captain of my cross country team. Okay, I was the king of Caucasia. But I tried so hard. Like I could sing every word to every Dave Matthews Band song, but when somebody asked me my favorite artist, I'd still say Dr. Dre. I mean, it's she's not that white though. She's not like she didn't convert. Like she doesn't believe in astrology, so like that sweet spot. She gets. She doesn't. I like that she doesn't like astrology. I don't really care for astrology, and I've like given it. I give it a chance. I try. Like apparently, I'm a water sign, which means that I'm known to be very
water sign,
which can't be true because I feel nothing for astrology. I don't know if you're familiar with what astrology is. It's the premise is that where the location of the sun and the moon and the stars when you were born can define your personality. So I already know it doesn't work because I have a twin brother. And we are born at the same time and we are completely different people. Like I moved to Los Angeles for comedy. He moved to San Diego to be closer to Comic-Con. See, like he's such a nerd. I told him I wanted to write a joke about how he's a nerd, and he was like, "Technically, I'm a geek."
Oh my god!
That's how much of a nerd he is. That's awesome. Yeah, so I just don't think astrology works. Like, how could we be the same people? Like, how does this define our personality? Like, he's an engineer that talks about networking issues for fun, and I complain about astrology. We just, according to the stars, we should have similar fates. Dan just bought a house with his girlfriend, and I just bought Superman underwear for Burning Man next year. Some people think astrology can predict the future, but it definitely didn't predict which one of us was going to be borrowing money from Dan. This is actually a crazy fact. Astrology was written thousands and thousands of years ago, but it turns out the Earth's axis tilts every 2,500 years. So the zodiac signs actually no longer correspond with astronomical constellations. So basically everything that astrology tells us as it was written no longer works. And that explains why I keep using astrology to find my wife, and I accidentally end up at all those gay bars. I like the music. I don't know.
Gay bar.
You guys ever have a midlife crisis? On a Zoom comedy show? And you outed yourself about those gay bars? Has that ever happened to anybody? Is that ever related?
Yeah.
I could be having a midlife crisis, guys. I'm of the age. I'm in my late 30s. So late that I'm 42.
Nice.
That's my time. I gotta go. Justin Herman, thank you so much.
You guys give it up for Justin. Love it. I've thought of moving to Australia just for the healthcare, so I'm glad to know it works.
I know a guy.
I'm dealing. I'm dealing with this tooth thing right now, and if you think medicine is bad, I don't know why we separated dental and medicine in this country, but we do. And if you think medicine is bad, try getting dental work done. Even if you have insurance, you can't get dental work done. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the dentist, regular checkup. Turns out I need a root canal. Fine. Root canal is not done by the same person who checks your teeth. It's a separate person. That guy works at my dental office once every 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
And once you find out there's a rotting part of your skull, you want it out as soon as possible. So I booked the next possible one, which was that following Monday. And he does the root canal. He shoots me. He makes a joke about how he loves hurting people, like while I'm there, with the needles and stuff. And I'm like, you can't laugh when you're getting a root canal. It's just not done. He puts the filling in before you get a crown. You get this like temporary filling, and he made it too high. And if you've ever had a filling too high, it sucks because you can't close your mouth all the way. You can't chew. But I didn't know it was too high because you're swollen and it hurts. And so I go to Thanksgiving unable to connect my teeth together. I did Thanksgiving trying to chew without touching your teeth together. Try to do that. Between the time when I was diagnosed with the root canal and when I had it, a chunk of my tooth fell out. The same tooth. And I was like, that's lucky. I'm getting that tooth worked on Monday. And I told the guy, I was like, a part of my tooth fell out. Do you need to see it? Does that matter? And he was so annoyed with me. Right? And he was like, of course not. And I was like, that could have been, of course. Like, I don't know. I'm not a dentist. Like, he's like, I don't need to see that. Because I saved it in a tiny baggie like drugs. Then the tooth hurt for a week. I was in massive pain for a week. I go back to the dentist. She files down the filling. And I'm like, that feels great. And she's like, but it might have caused a bigger infection. So here's some antibiotics. I'm on antibiotics. Then the filling. So now there's a giant hole in my mouth that I keep tonguing. So that's why I'm doing this. So the cost to get a root canal in Astoria, Queens is about $3,000, you guys. That's a $3,000. That's a $3,000 improvement I'm putting into my teeth. And it's in a
That's a good dentist you got there.
Nobody can see. It's tooth number 3. I'm going to get a crown on that guy. I can't show this crown off. If I'm paying $3,000 for a crown, I want to wear it to brunch. I want to wear it on stage. I want it to be fancy and expensive, and it is expensive. You guys, we are just about to close out the show, but first I want to remind everyone that we are a donation-based deal here. I'm going to put these links up again. What? Who said it? I'm going to put some links in the chat window. Click on one of those links, throw us some money, and we're going to say thank you to the people who donated to us last week, or 2 weeks ago, actually. But thank you to these people. The share screen function is now on. Last week's donors, A-list, we had 3 people named whose names begin with A, donate, and that's Alan, Amanda, Ann. That's our A-list. Cyborg level is Brandon. Brandon, thank you for being a cyborg and donating enough money to make it to cyborg level. Cheddar cheese level is Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. You have won cheddar cheese. And normal level, sorry, you guys donated the wrong amount and you are normal. And that is Ron and Evil Dave. We really do appreciate every penny that you guys send us. We are like Channel 13, where we give you the show and then we beg for money. That's how we do it here.
Amen.
That stopped. All right. You guys, we're going to be back next week with a new lineup. Thank you, all the comedians who joined us this evening. Give them a round of applause. We really appreciate it. Have a great night, everybody. We're going to see you next week.
Great work, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good show.
Yay.